Watching my value speech and transcribing it, I found that there are definitely some areas for improvement, as I'm sure that we all feel like there are. My peer evaluations were mostly positive, which was really helpful, because for that speech I was a little more nervous than I have been for other speeches, especially the more recent ones. So hopefully those positive peer evaluations will help my confidence in the future speeches so that I am less nervous and I don't talk as quickly, because I know that was an issue in my last video. And the peer evaluations did point out that I could try and incorporate more facial expressions and hand gestures, and I really am working on the facial expressions right now. It's like they don't come naturally to me during speaking. I have to remember and focus on making these facial expressions, and I really want to get to the point where they almost feel like a second nature and it's not something I have to focus on while I'm speaking. And the hand gestures are kind of challenging right now because to include my hand gestures, I would have to raise my hands almost to my face, which feels really unnatural. So I'm thinking about pushing my camera further away so that you can see my hand gestures and seeing how that works. I'm just a little bit worried that my volume won't be as good with the camera further away because I'm just using my webcam, so I don't know if the volume would pick up as well. And as a verbal communicator, I feel pretty good after watching that speech. The words that I used were words that enforced my main points about wanting to be an occupational therapist and transferring from FSU. And I found that those words that did enforce my point were the biggest words on the word cloud that we made for our discussion board. So that was exciting to see, but I found that there were words like really and definitely that were also pretty large on that word cloud. And those words aren't necessary to continue to make points in my speech, so I'm really trying to remember to not include those words, even though I just did. It's something I want to continue to work on because to me they almost feel like filler words. So it's something I have to continue to remind myself to do because those are words that come fairly naturally to me and I almost use them instead of a pause or just as something to like elaborate, and that's not what I want to use those words for. I would rather use a better vocabulary. So I think as a verbal communicator overall, I'm doing pretty well. I think I can definitely work on my nonverbal communications like my facial expression and hand gestures, but in terms of my word choice, I feel pretty good about that. So I think that is it for today. This is my note card.